Hello folks, how you doing? Yeah, I didn't even do a video yesterday. No, that's cool. There's nothing to say. There's no point saying anything, really. Yeah. Well, last night I was thinking about, I was planning to go down to Rochdale, middle of England, basically, to get a puppy. Bought a collie pup. But then, during the night I was thinking, well, because what I've been getting recently, when I've been looking, is that little voice has been saying, you don't need to get another dog. And I had a big conversation with God last night, saying, okay, so are you telling me that you're going to change my situation from being on my own, to being what exactly? Because certainly in the short term there won't be a wife. Certainly in the short term there won't be any sort of ministry. So there won't be any real fellowship. Okay. In the short term, none of those things are going to happen. And certainly I can't see my dogs coming back. I mean, it might be possible that a few might, because they might be unsettled and they might be listed online. So I could maybe get them back. But am I going to get them all back? Nope. If I'm not going to get them all back, if I'm going to get some of them back at max, then getting another dog is going to cause what sort of problem? I had 11. So getting having one dog won't cause a problem compared to 11. If I get 5 of mine back, then getting one more, making 6, is no issue compared to having 11, is it? Really? So then, of course, last night I was thinking about it and went to bed a bit earlier because thinking, well, okay, get up early, leave early if I'm going to do that, because it's around just over 350 miles there, 350 miles back. So it's like, well, I need to leave early. Because you're looking at around about 7 hours, just under 7 hours sort of journey time. So, right, okay. That's that situation then. But then at 6, I just woke up and I said, well, Father, I said, if you keep on telling me I don't need to get another dog, there's a reason for that, but you will not tell me the reason. That's not good. I'm not pleased with that in any way, shape or form. You keep telling me something, but you won't tell me the reason why that's the case. Yeah, that ain't good. Not in any way, shape or form. That is just not good. But it is what it is. Okay. Yeah, I've got to trust you in that, so okay. But the problem is, I don't know what that means. I honestly don't know. And there's no point in me getting another dog if I'm going to have to give that dog up because of my circumstances, whatever they will be. Now, I don't think, with regards to the court situation, that there would be anything there, because basically the sheriff has already said that she doesn't want to ban me, and they're doing a 6-month good behaviour thing, so there won't really be any punishment, according to my solicitor, there. So it won't be from there. Okay. I wouldn't move into a place where I wasn't allowed to have dogs, and at the moment I'm in a place where I am allowed to have dogs, clearly. So I can't see myself moving from here either. Not in the short term. But because I was questioning everything so much, and because if I went down there, I would need to refuel the car. Only once. I need to fill it up again because it's nearly full. Just driving around town, it says it's got about 320 odd miles. You start driving at 60 miles an hour, even more at 70, then you're going to get closer to 500 miles. So getting there, no problem with what is in there already, the fuel. But it has to be refueled down there to get back. And the problem is, obviously, if I'm trying to do that in one day, that's a problem. Because, if I've got a little puppy in the back, the puppy will have to go out and do its pee and poo. Well, the problem there is, it will be blinking dark. So I was trying to think about all the possibilities and thinking, well, if I'm going to go today, that just makes it impossible. Well, because the person who's got the dog would be busy tomorrow, so it's like, well, that's not going to work. Because ideally speaking, it'd be better to travel down at night time, so I get down there early, so that when we travel back, it's early. So that way it means that it's daylight, that when I'm letting the dog out of the car to go do its pee and poo, it's daylight. I can see the dog can see me quite clearly, and we can deal with that situation nice and simply. At night time, that's a problem, and I wouldn't want to leave the dog in a service station in the car. Because temptation for people to smash windows, steal dog, drive off. Wouldn't want that to happen. So I would take coffee for the way down. I would hopefully get some coffee from the person who has the dog. Hopefully they would be willing to fill my flask up with some coffee. That gives me coffee on the way back, so I don't need to stop for any other reason, really. I could go into one of the local supermarkets, get a sandwich, have that on the way back. So I don't need to stop at service stations. I can stop anywhere else, like a little park or something like that, and let the dog, let the puppy out. But that means leaving here probably around about 10 o'clock at night. Or a bit earlier. Well, the problem is trying to sleep in the car is really difficult, to say the least. What I'd probably have to do is go in the passenger seat, because I don't want to do anything to muck up the driver's seat, because I need to drive in it. So passenger seat I can muck up, it doesn't really matter. So I can lean that back a bit, I can give myself a bit more leg room, so I can stretch out a bit and try and close my eyes for a few minutes if I do that. So it's possible that I could do the travelling on Sunday night instead, to arrive there early Monday morning. That's a possibility. But again, if I do that, as I say, I'm going to have to go deep into my overdraft, and I won't get out of that for a couple of months. So that's a problem. So I'll need some form of assistance financially before I can do that. And, yesterday, early evening, I was believing that God would help me out financially. In some way. That during the journey, God would help me out financially in some way. But the problem is, hearing you don't need to get another dog around about the same sort of time. If God is saying I don't need to get another dog and I shouldn't be going down to get the dog, means He's not going to help me financially. So, there's a lot to sort out first. But, well, put it this way, from my situation, all the while I had that belief that my dogs are coming back, I had no interest in getting another dog. No interest at all in getting another dog. Because, I had joy with regards to my relationship with God. But the problem is, as soon as I understood my dogs had been sold, everything just fell apart. And trying to find joy is difficult. Because God isn't telling me anything. He's not giving me anything really about what's going on and why it's going on. Why the dogs are rehomed and why He encouraged me to believe that they're coming back to me. There's loads of, obviously, when everything falls apart, there's loads of questions that you have. Well, I did a video recently talking about the fact that beforehand I could believe without seeing. Yet when everything fell apart, yeah, that makes that incredibly difficult. Now, because I did that with all those things, I believed without seeing. I just trusted in God, and then God basically said, trusting in me looks like it was a foolish thing to do. Looks like, not was, but looks like, by the evidence. And it's like, oh, for goodness sake. So, yeah. The whole idea to me of getting a little puppy would mean that there's joy. There's this little bundle of joy, which is something you're going to be thankful for and grateful for, and something that's going to make you laugh and smile and giggle and just fill your heart with joy. And at the moment, there's a lack of that. I'm coming up to another Christmas time without dogs, and I just didn't want to be in that situation again. I'm not a religious person. I don't really care about Christmas, but it's more the point that at that time of year you're supposed to be with family. And we'll put it this way: before I got the dogs, before I got Molly, I was alone at Christmas every year for most of my life. It only started to matter to me because of the dogs, because I made sure that at Christmas time they had a really good dinner. I made sure that I treated them, and they had a lovely meal at Christmas. Because they're my family. And even though, according to the newspaper reports, it looks as if I didn't love my dogs, I've always loved them. I still love them immensely. But, So, yeah. With regards to that, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't know. I honestly don't know, because financially, I'm not really in a position where I could do that. In a sense, put it this way, I wouldn't get into immense trouble financially, but I would be I've got a £300 overdraft. I would be probably to the max of that. And it would take me probably a couple of months to get out of that. Yeah. So, that isn't good. I'm not looking forward to that being the case, because that would be a pain in the butt. It just means you've got less money, because they charge you interest when you're being in that, so it affects the amount of money available to you during that period of time. And so it's annoying. Plus, I was talking about getting a German Shepherd rather than a Collie, and I would rather do that, but the problem is German Shepherds are so much more expensive. So yeah. I don't know. Time will tell. Let's see what's going to happen. I don't know. But as I say, if Father is telling me I don't need to get another dog, there's a reason for that. Hopefully I'll know soon. But yeah. No worries. As I say, my faith in God, it hasn't been massively affected. It's just that my ability to believe about seeing has. So anyway, there you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.